PNR Networks is a member of Patreon. Show your love for our shows by joining our ongoing fundraising campaign and get some fantastic perks in return. Check it out and become a Patreon sponsor. You can sign up at patreon.com, patreon.com/PNR Networks. And thanks for your support.
This podcast is a member of the Blueberry Network. Blueberry. No E's. That's Blueberry, BLUBRRY.com. Blueberry.com.
This podcast is a proud member of the Lamb Podcasting Network. Find the network at largeassmovieblogs.com.
It's Kim versus TC in the battle of the lists.
My list is better.
My list is better.
My list is better.
No, it's not. My list is better.
Kim or TC, who has the better list? From Subject Cinema, this is Front Row 5 and 10 with Kim Brown and TC Kirkham.
Hey guys, welcome to another week here on Front Row 5 and 10, brought to you by the good folks that bring you Subject Cinema. That would be me and him, the me being Kim Brown.
And the me being TC Kirkham. Oh, him being TC Kirkham.
Yeah.
Welcome.
Yeah.
This week's been fun.
It's only the beginning of the week.
I know. Well, no, by the time this airs, it's Thursday. You gotta think on the air day here.
Yeah.
We're recording earlier in the week.
As we're recording, as a blizzard is
going on
outside.
Fun. But we got the day off work, so can't complain. Lots of great stuff. We want to hear from you as far as what ideas to do for our list show. That's what this is. Mm-hmm. And we want to hear from you at front row at PNRNetworks.com. Send us your ideas and we'll put you on we'll give you credit on the show, credit on the site, and come up with a small prize of some sort if we use it on the air.
Yeah.
Come on. Don't you want to get us a free DVD or something? Send us some ideas. I mean, not that we can't come up with ideas, but we'd love to hear from you
guys, and we'd love to use an idea that you send us. That would be great.
This week, my pick.
Yes.
Our top 10 internet animal stars. Mm-hmm. Now, when I say top 10, I'm saying personal.
Right.
Things we love.
Yep.
Not necessarily our opinions of the biggest 10 stars.
Right. These are the ones that mean something to us. We watch them all the time.
I enjoy watching or reading or looking at their sites or whatever. How did you figure out your list?
I just went by animals that I enjoy watching, animals that I know pretty well. Sometimes they're not animals I've watched a lot, but they've definitely got a place in my heart for one reason or another. But most of them are animals that I've watched a whole lot.
Oh, yeah.
You know, sometimes videos over and over and over again and stuff like that. And some of them
not all of them are video.
No, not all of them are video.
Mine, in fact, has one and it is not video at all. Pictures occasionally, but mostly Twitter feeds. Mm-hmm. So, okay.
Mine are simply just, some of the mine are on there because they're just cute. You know. So.
And, well, this one actually is not. The one I just mentioned is actually not an animal, but it purports to be. So we have to go with that. So.
Okay. Well, we're all animals under the skin, aren't we? Oh, we are.
Don't get existential on me, please. This is a fun show. All right, so. My list, you start. Top 10 favorite internet animal stars. Go for it.
Okay. Starting off my list is a video from YouTube. It is one of the videos that I love on YouTube. I think it was one of the first videos I ever saved on YouTube once I finally figured out how to save stuff. Because it's computers, and we all know that Kim and computers don't go together terribly well. My number 10 is the video of Sneezing Baby Panda. For those of you who have never seen this video, and I can't believe there's any of you out there, Sneezing Baby Panda is a video it's on YouTube. It was first posted to YouTube in November of 2006. It's a video of a mother panda and her little baby at the Wulong Panda Breeding Center, and the mother panda is doing what pandas do. She's eating bamboo. They do that a lot. So she's sitting there and she's eating her bamboo and everything's calm and quiet and, very casual. And the baby's just lying there being a baby, not really doing very much. I'm not even sure the baby's eyes are opened at this point. I mean, it's this little cute ball of fluff, and all of a sudden it sneezes. And I mean, it's this enormous, it is this huge sneeze from this little bitty baby panda, this little tiny thing. And it lets out with a sneeze, and I'm like, the first time I saw it, I was like, that came out of that little panda? Scared the mom panda half to death for a second. And then she just goes back to eating her bamboo. And the baby just goes back to sleep, I guess, or whatever it is. Babies are in that little Zen baby state that they're in. And it's just so damn cute. It's so adorable. It's just, you watch it over and over and over again. And it's just really, really, really cute. I'm sorry. It's just, this video has been seen, 162.7 million times on YouTube. So apparently I'm not the only one that finds this seriously adorkable. So my number 10, Sneezing Baby Panda from YouTube.
Could you consider Sneezing Baby Panda an actual star, though? It's that one little 15-second clip.
If 162 people have watched it, you're a star.
Okay. Well, I was going for name stars myself, but
you
can do whatever you like.
I don't know the panda's name. So there's that.
Fine, whatever. Everybody knows that the internet is obsessed with cats. We both have, I'm sure, plenty of cats on our list.
Yeah.
But my list actually starts with one of the two dogs on the list, and I'm like, I had a hard time because there's several other animals that I loved and I didn't put on the list. But everybody, I mean, if you've seen television in the last 2, 3, 4 years, or you've been on the internet on YouTube and you're looking for animal videos, or even if you've seen photographs occasionally of your favorite music stars, particularly music stars, TV and movie stars too, but mostly music stars, chances are good that at some point you're going to come across either a video or a picture of my number 10 animal star, Doug the Pug. Doug is a 3-year-old pug dog. He has his own site. It's DougThePug.com. He has internet, Twitter, YouTube, everything. He does movie parodies on YouTube that are hilariously funny. I mean, he obviously really doesn't really care to be in the outfits that his owner is putting them in.
I don't think most dogs or cats appreciate being dressed up.
But he clearly likes being introduced to big people. I mean, there's pictures of him online. The one I remember was him and Ed Sheeran, which is kind of weird. He's adorable, though. He really is. He's this little tiny pug. And he's got, of course, I think everybody last summer, I think it went up last summer, saw the video of him dragging the floaty helium-filled pug balloon that had been tied to his tail around. He's adorable, and he's funny, and he doesn't seem to mind the fame. Like I said, he's got his own Twitter, Instagram, everything. You can find him everywhere. We'll have links to all these things, by the way, in the show notes. Everything is pugalicious when you're talking about Doug the Pug. He's number 10 on my list.
Okay. Number 9 on my list is a little animal that's gotten so famous, he's actually wound up becoming part of our other movie podcast, Subject Cinema. Oh. My number 9 is...
Dun, dun, dun!
Dramatic Chipmunk. Thank you so much for that. Actually, seriously, thank you. That worked really well. That was not planned.
I can anticipate very well.
That was not planned, by the way. Spontaneity. Yay. Anyway. Dramatic Chipmunk is... I've caused an episode again. I'm so sorry. Dramatic Chipmunk is actually a video from a Japanese show called Hello Morning. I wasn't aware they had chipmunks in Japan.
It's because
So,
it's not a chipmunk; it's a prairie dog.
Oh, well, yeah.
It's been mislabeled and as a chipmunk for years.
Yeah.
But it... Shit. That's because it's not a chipmunk, it's a prairie dog. It's been mislabeled for years. Now we have another sports team in the Midwest suddenly deciding it's a gopher and throwing it up on their big Titantron to scare the other team unexpectedly. And I'm like, that just came up a couple weeks ago.
They're doing
I'm like,
a screamer in the middle of a game?
Yeah.
I don't see how that's allowed, but anyway.
Well, it's between plays. It's not while they're playing.
Okay. All right. Well, anyway.
They call it a gopher. So it's not a gopher.
Well, they
you can call it whatever you want, but its best known name is the dramatic chipmunk.
You can call it Marv if you want to. I'm really sure that doesn't care.
I don't like Marv.
Anyway, this little guy has been a star since this video was uploaded in June 2007 to, once again, YouTube. And he just seems to pop up everywhere because it is obviously the thing that makes this clip so funny is the music that people tend to put behind it, very dramatic sting kind of music. Kind of like this.
Da, da, da!
I have to throw him little bones every now and then. So anyway, I just think
Very
this
little.
is
Almost invisible.
Shush. I think this is just hilarious. It's so funny and weird and random, and we just wound up using it on our show as well for the whole, people making mountains out of molehill kind of things. So they get the dramatic chipmunk of the week, and that's why dramatic chipmunk is number 9 on my list.
Another second. That's another one that lasts like 5 seconds, and it's been viewed like millions and millions and billions of times.
And
as Carl Sagan would have said.
And the sad thing is, I don't know how long prairie dogs live. That animal's probably dead by now.
Probably. I think I don't know. I think they have a pretty long lifespan, like 20 years.
Really?
I might be wrong though.
I don't know.
My number 9. Everybody knows this cat. This cat is known around the world. She's had her own TV specials. She's had her own television channel devoted to her online. And it's all because she just can't seem to get happy about anything. My number 9 is Tartar Sauce, better known as Grumpy Cat. You cannot get away from this cat. I always thought it was a male cat. I didn't realize it was a she until when I was researching this. I'm like, Grumpy Cat's a female? I didn't know that. She is adorable. But she has that permanent scowl on her face, which is normal for her breed, I guess.
Actually, it isn't.
It isn't? No. Oh, okay. So it must be on your list, too. Again, Instagram, Twitter, YouTube, all the channels that are out there, all these videos that are fun and funky and goofy. And the cat's just like, with that perpetual scowl. You have to wonder if the cat really enjoys this, because you can't tell.
No.
She doesn't seem to mind. Obviously she's been doing it for a long time.
Usually you can tell you can usually tell when a cat is not enjoying something. It's very subtle. It's called clawing the crap out of you.
Well, yeah, but that's at the extreme. Grumpy Cat Tartar Sauce is currently at South by Southwest as we record this. She is the guest of the South by Southwest Film and Music Festival. Has her own little booth, doing a whole bunch of pictures. I'm like, are you kidding me? It's a cat. Well, no, you don't normally find that kind of a thing at a music and film festival. At a cat video festival, I would expect that. That's what she's been all these years. Number 9, Tartar Sauce. That's Tardar, by the way, a.k.a. Grumpy Cat.
Yep. Okay. Number 8 on my list is one of the few canines on my list. I love dogs, don't get me wrong. I've owned several dogs during my life. Actually, he's the only canine on my list. My number 8 is Boo. Boo is also
That is one of my also picks, almost.
Boo is also known as the world's cutest dog. And I don't know about that title, because everybody thinks their dog is the world's cutest dog, Unless you own a pit bull or something. And I'm sure people who own pit bulls think their dogs are cute. And pit bulls actually can be cute.
Samson was adorable.
Samson was adorable.
Your sister's pit bull.
Yeah.
He was friendly and bouncy. He thought he was a lap dog.
Yeah.
He was huge.
Boo is a Pomeranian. He's specifically a type of Pomeranian called a teddy bear Pomeranian. He also has a cut that a lot of Pomeranians don't have. Usually when you think of a Pomeranian, they're very
Poofy.
kind of poofy, fluffy looking dogs.
They look like a muff.
Yeah.
For outdoor weather.
Yeah, they do. Or like a tribble with a face.
Yeah.
Boo actually has a shorter cut than most Pomeranians, and he is frickin' adorable. The first time I saw this dog, I was like, that's not real. I was like, somebody made a toy, and I was like, oh my God, that dog is real. Oh my God, I want one. He's like so cute. I
wouldn't mind having a pom. I love poms. They're adorable.
I know, but they do need they need people around.
They're high maintenance dogs.
Yeah, they need people around, and we work. So he is owned by
We'll put a doghouse under my desk, and we can bring him to work.
He's owned by a lady who works for Facebook, so that helps because he's got 17.5 million likes on Facebook. He is an internet darling. There are toys made of him. He has his own book. He is the official pet liaison for Virgin America. I didn't even know they had one, but okay. He's just one of the cutest, sweetest, most adorable dogs you've ever seen in your life. And the thing about Boo that I really, really find so attractive and appealing about him is whenever I see him, he always looks so happy. And it reflects out of his eyes that he's just like, I'm having a wonderful time.
Yeah, he's adorable.
And I love that. I love that enthusiasm. And he's just so cute. I want to pick him up and squeeze him. Which is probably not a good idea because I kind of hug like an anaconda. But, he'll attest to that, actually.
Yes, I will, actually.
My number 8, Boo the dog.
I left Boo off my list because I knew you'd have him on yours. And I wanted to throw in a couple of extra ones.
That's me. I like hardcore wrestling and little fluffy dogs.
My number 8,
Captain Contradiction.
My number 8 is not with us anymore. One of the two animals that's not with us anymore. And it was an odd reaction when I got the news of his passing in January. I was sitting at my desk at work, and I was reading the post by his mistress, and I started to cry. I've never done that over an animal on the internet before. But anybody who's become a fan of pioneer woman Ree Drummond knows her dog, Charlie. Charlie the Basset Hound. He was ill for a little over a year, and they managed to give him an extra year of life and comfort and everything. But they did lose him in January. Charlie's become the star of children's books, of T-shirts, of stuffed animals, and not to mention numerous appearances on his mistress's television program.
For those of you who
Food Network.
don't watch The Pioneer Woman, Charlie is a Basset Hound.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
And they have several animals, and Charlie was one of 2 Basset Hounds. They have 2 other dogs and a cat running around. The cat doesn't get on camera very often. But Charlie loved being on camera, and often they would put thought bubbles over him to things she was saying during like the interstitials where she's going from scene to scene or out of commercial or into commercial. And he was adorable, he was funny, he was friendly. And when the word came that he had passed away, I just lost it. I'm like, writing Kim, I'm sitting here crying, Charlie passed away, no!
That just shows you have a heart, honey.
Well, it's that, not to mention the fact that Reese talking in her blog about how much they knew it was coming eventually, but it just happened so suddenly, and they happened to be having a weekend where they had a bunch of people there, and one of them was their family vet, so they were able to get it taken care of right away, and I just felt so bad, and and she said, I'll leave it to the parents to decide how to tell their kids, if they tell them. Mm-hmm. It's perfectly okay if they don't, she said. So if you have any kids, and they're fans of Charlie, and they don't know, don't play them this episode. My number 8, Charlie the Basset Hound. You can still find all kinds of stuff on Charlie, pictures as well as merchandise at resite thepioneerwoman.com.
Okay. My next entry into my list, I will be the first to admit, is not going to appeal to everybody. In fact, some people might actually turn the volume down at this point, which is unfair because I feel these animals get a bad rep. My number 7 is Bronx Zoo Cobra.
Oh my God.
Now, for those of you who don't remember this story from back in the early part of the 2000s, well, not the mid part of the 2000s, I should say. The Bronx.
Yeah, it was actually 2011.
2011. The Egyptian cobra, a very poisonous snake.
Venomous.
Venomous. Excuse me.
Well, that's what she said.
No, you're right. You are right.
She isn't poisonous. She's venomous. Not the same thing.
I stand chastened and rebuked. They are not a snake to be effed with. This snake at the Bronx Zoo decided to take a little trip, which of course threw people into arm-waving panic. You know, let's be honest, it's a deadly animal. But we've
had one loose in Stoneham.
Yeah.
Some idiot had one for a pet in Stoneham, and it got away.
I don't know if it was an Egyptian cobra. It was a cobra.
It was a cobra. That's enough.
Yeah.
Why do you have a cobra for a pet?
Anyway, but they found the cobra, and they put it back in its enclosure. But the cobra decided that it liked freedom a lot, and apparently at some point when it was out, sampled the wonders of the World Wide Web, and apparently coerced somebody into typing for it, because I can't see a cobra banging its head against a keyboard trying to type. You know, maybe they use their tail. And yeah,
that's it. It's a tail.
And they opened a Twitter account.
And their iPhone.
So they opened a Twitter, and the Twitter is actually still up. And
still running.
Still running.
And still hysterical.
And hilariously funny. Yeah. It is a hilariously funny, very witty. Cobras have very dry wit, apparently. And
scintillating.
I'm not touching that.
Okay.
We're leaving that alone.
Okay.
It's just a hysterically funny Twitter feed. If you don't follow it, you really should. So my number 7, Bronx Zoo Cobra, and their Twitter feed.
I'm impressed. I did not think you remembered that at all. My number 7 is I don't know how to describe this cat. Well, the name says it all. Henri le Chat Noir. Henry the Noir Cat. Henri has recently retired, gone into semi-retirement. He's only doing videos now when he feels like it. He was trying to do one every couple of months. It's basically Henri's view of life. You have Henri in his black and white films looking very French pretentious and giving these pretentious comments on life and things going on around him. It's because of the fact that they're so pretentious that they're so damn funny. I mean, I've loved this I think it's been up for 4 or 5 years. I've loved them since I first stumbled upon them because they look like neo-noir films from the 50s and early 60s by Godard and people like that. And I'm like, really? Okay. This is interesting. And of course we're film fans, so we look for the film stuff. He's a beautiful cat, and he is getting up there. He's 11 now. That's why he's retiring. I don't know if they're going to introduce a substitute or a successor. Haven't mentioned anything yet. But he does have his own YouTube channel, and you can watch these. I mean, they're ridiculously pretentious and utterly hilarious when you sit down and think about it, because you have the gentleman doing, obviously, I would say the owner of Henri, doing the voiceover with the French subtitles in English. And I don't know if he has subtitles in another language. It might be on depending on where you're in YouTube, what you would get. But they really do look like classic French film cinema. Film cinema, that made sense. Classic French cinema. And the cat is an expert at looking like he's, above everything. I don't know whether it's trained that way or if that's just a natural pose. But yeah, I love those videos. And if you've never seen them, go check them out when you check out our show notes. Henri Le Chat Noir, Henry the Noir Cat, number 7.
Okay. All right. Is a cat that you've already mentioned. My number 6 is Tartar Sauce, who is more known by her famous name of Grumpy Cat.
Grumpy Cat!
Grumpy Cat, the reason that she has the appearance that she has of this perpetual sort of anywhere from mildly annoyed to really pissed off face happening is apparently because she has an underbite and she also has what is known as feline dwarfism.
Oh, really? I
Yes.
didn't know that. Wow. Okay.
She is, according to her owners, she is 99% of the time just your regular cat. She doesn't have a grumpy personality. She's very sweet, apparently. And she has been featured pretty much everywhere you could think of. Commercials, on video.
She's at South by Southwest this week.
Yeah, she's on, like you mentioned, she's been at South by Southwest. She's been interviewed, quote, quote, by Forbes magazine.
So is Alexander Luthor. What's your point?
Well, she's just been pretty much everywhere. And she is a very cute cat. I mean, she's very adorable. When they first started making her, like, you know, putting her out there and letting people see her and get to know her and stuff like that. At first I was kind of like, these people are making fun of this cat, that's mean. But I kind of changed my mind after a while. I was like, oh no, they're not really.
When
They're
you
just...
see the videos, they're not. They love this cat to death. Everybody does.
Yeah, people are celebrating her uniqueness and the fact that she's just a cat that looks a little different.
She had a TV movie, for Pete's sake. Lifetime's Grumpy Cat Christmas, or whatever it was.
Yeah.
I'm like, are you kidding me? Wow.
Yeah.
I have another one like that coming up.
She also appears in a film called Little Bub and Friends, which is a documentary that had its premiere at Tribeca in 2013.
Yeah, which we still have not been able to see. We've got to watch it sometime because it's on Fandor. We need to watch it.
So my number 7, my number 6, Grumpy Cat.
My number 6 is the existential animal I mentioned because we've already talked about it, and it's like the animal is there in the name only. You know, there's no snake popping out Twitter feeds, but Bronx Zoo Cobra is freaking hilarious.
Yes.
These tweets are so freaking fall down funny. And there's even a recent one. I was just going through it, and all of a sudden, this big picture of a cobra popped up, and I was stunned for a minute. I wasn't afraid of it. It was albino. Have you ever seen an albino cobra?
No.
Oh my God, it's beautiful. It's beautiful. And it's from another zoo that had, I think it's the one that escaped in Florida and then they found finally or something. But she always brings up, and I call it a she because she identified as a she when this was going on. She always brings up escaped reptiles in particular, but snakes in particular when they escape from. And
She brought up
some of the stuff is just ridiculously funny.
One of her more recent tweets was asking if Matt Damon still had that zoo back when the Oscars were going on, which I thought was really funny.
And not to mention the fact that in that particular movie, Dumb Kid, played by Colin Ford, dumps a whole package of snakes all over one of the garage. Although those weren't, I don't think those were any of them were dangerous.
No, probably not.
It was like, okay, what? Despite my own not fondness of snakes, Bronx Zoo Cobra is just one of the funniest tweet streams you can read. It ranks up there among my favorite tweet streams that I read strictly for comic value or interest value, like the gentleman that does such an amazingly accurate impression of Richard Nixon, who goes under Dick_Nixon on Twitter. And I mean, he has, having read a lot of Nixon biographies, that guy has Nixon's mindset right there. He's really good at it. And I feel that whoever's doing this, I don't know whether they're an employee at the Bronx Zoo or just a fan when it happened, but they did change the name, by the way. It's Bronx Zoos, plural, Cobra now. I don't know when they changed it, but I noticed that change when I was looking through some of the stuff lately. Number 6 on my list, Bronx Zoos Cobra.
Okay.
Don't miss it. They're so funny. The tweets are hilarious.
All right. My number 5 favorite internet animal actually doesn't have a name, which is odd. Although I shouldn't say it's odd because the star of the videos doesn't have a name either. My number 6 is the kitten from the videos for Simon's Cat.
That's an animated animal.
So?
Oh, for Pete's sake. Okay.
The videos for Simon's Cat have been out there since 2008. Created by Simon Tofield, a British animator who is really, really, really funny. The videos deal with Simon and his cat and the other animals that populate the area. The kitten came along in 2011, and he's been part of the home ever since.
It's Simon's Cat's version of Nermal.
No, I don't agree with that because Nermal... I don't even know.
Nermal was insufferably cute, and he knew it. This one doesn't really. He's more a real cat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nermal, for those of you who don't remember
Garfield.
him, was from Garfield and a very manipulative character. I don't think the kitten is manipulative.
No, he's not intentionally manipulative.
He's very innocent and very playful and tends to just do what kittens do, which is, food, mine now. Oh, toy, mine now. Bed, mine now. Kittens do that.
Mm-hmm.
That's just what they do. To the annoyance of Simon's cat. And he's cute. He's drawn just so adorable. He's another one that I just want to pick up and cuddle because he's just so cute. So my number 5, the kitten from Simon's Cat, who I call Bootsy in my head.
I didn't go with animated cats.
You said anybody on the internet.
I said animal stars, and that qualifies, but I meant live action. But that's okay. If you want to go that way, you can. Because we both love Simon's Cat. It's a great, funny channel. Obviously did well that Fremantle about it, didn't he? Fremantle? Did you pick it up?
I think so.
And it's if you've never seen A Visit to the Vet, is that the name? A Day at the Vet.
Day at the Vet.
Which is the full-length one. We got to see it when it was first made because we were Kickstarters for it. It's actually out or coming out soon in theaters. Mm-hmm. I don't know whether that means it's going to get eligible for an Oscar next year. That would be cool for short film.
That would be nice, yeah.
Oh, well, anyway. My number 5, I was really unaware of this cat until a few months ago, and I'm like, how could you not love this cat? He's so adorable. He's been a fan, and he's been a star in his native homeland of Great Britain for 4 or 5 years now. But he doesn't have his own website. All of his exploits are on the site of his owner, James Bowden. Street Cat Bob, number 5. They had a fantastic movie called A Street Cat Named Bob that came out late last year, with Luke Treadaway playing James and Bob playing himself for the most part. He had 4 body doubles. And the movie was so unfairly unseen by anybody in this country. It was a huge hit in Britain. I mean, it did well in its native country, but because people are not aware of it in America, nobody saw it. In Boston, it didn't even come to Boston proper. It only played at Cape Ann Cinema in Gloucester for a week, and they made a big deal out of it. Bob is literally exactly what he says. He was a stray cat that was adopted by a busker named James Bowden when he was really having trouble breaking the cycle of drugs and abuse and everything else. Through finding his friendship with this stray cat, helped James find the strength to get away from that, to break loose of the drug cycle, to get his life back in order. He's now written 4 books about Bob with his collaborator from one of the newspapers over there, and has become a nationally known spokesman for homeless people and veterans and a number of other people. And Bob is right there on his shoulder every step of the way. This movie is adorable, and the site, you can find all of Bob's exploits. All 4 books are available through Amazon UK. The first book is available in the States. And it's like, Bob is just your average orange tabby with a good personality. I've never seen a sweeter cat. He seems to take to everybody, and like I said, he played himself in the movie, so obviously he and Luke Treadaway got on okay. Yep. Otherwise, he wouldn't have been able to do it. If you get a chance to see the movie, it should be out on DVD in April. Please check it out. And if you want to check him out before that, you can go over to James Bowden's Facebook page. I'll have the link up and take a look at some of the adorable pictures of Street Cat Bob that are up there. My number 5, Street Cat Bob.
Okay. My number 4 favorite internet animal, I'm actually surprised hasn't made it on your list yet. She might be on later on, but I don't know. My number 2...
Number 4?
Sorry. My number 4 is Hannah.
Hannah is not on my list.
You're such a hater.
Hannah is an interloper. Hannah is not on my list.
Well, you can tell you were an only child.
Oh, ouch!
Well, it's true. Hannah joined the family that is the person behind the camera and Maru. She joined in 2013. The person behind the camera, who we only know as Mugu Mogu, films the exploits of her cat Maru and has made him an internet sensation, watching him do stuff that cats do. And Hannah came along, as I said, in 2013 when she was 2 months old, and they just clicked. They do the things cats do where they're like, let's play, let's fight, let's play, let's fight, let's play some more, let's fight some more. Cats do that. But it's not real fighting. Nobody's really hurting anybody. And Hannah is mischievous, and she can be kind of a pest to Maru when he's just trying to hang out and relax, which is all he does. But she's cute. I think she's a very cute cat, and she's good for him. I do think that. So my number 4 is Hannah.
Hannah, the Taylor Swift of internet cats. Private joke, anyway.
You can be such a bitch. Honestly.
My number 4 is, I'm surprised he hasn't been on your list yet because you love cutesy pie stuff. And you cannot get any cutesy pie, really, or more cutesy pie. Cutesy pieing? I don't know what the right phrase is. Than Little Bub. Little Bub is adorable. He's this little cat and he has I don't know what, there's actually a condition and it causes his tongue to stick out of the bottom lip.
Yeah.
So he's always got a perpetual tongue hanging out. It doesn't interfere with his eating. It doesn't interfere with his, any normal activities. But it gives him this like cute little look and everybody fell in love with him the minute they put him up online. Like Grumpy Cat, Little Bub has had his own documentary film. He's had his own TV specials. He's everywhere on the internet. Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, his own site, YouTube. And he really is adorable. And I guess he gets along with practically every cat that they ever bring him. He's actually had, other cats like he and Grumpy Cat work together all the time. Mm-hmm. That their owners have them work together all the time. I just find him adorable, and I also found him interesting because to me, am I mistaken in thinking that Little Bub is the inspiration for the cat half of Nyan Cat? I know he's not the inspiration for the Pop-Tart half. I mean, he's got to be the information. Nyan Cat is just one of the dumbest things I've ever seen in my life, but the front of him looks like Little Bub.
You think?
I do.
Oh.
Little Bub is adorable. So are all his friends, and you can check him out if you haven't seen him. I can't imagine you've not seen him. He's at number 4 on my list.
My number 3 is Simon's Cat, the inspiration for the cartoon Simon's Cat, the main character. As we mentioned before, he is the creation of Simon Toefield. Simon actually bases Simon's cat, whose name we also don't know, on one of his cats, a cat named Hugh. Simon's cat is kind of interesting because sometimes he acts like a regular cat. He does regular cat things, winding between his owner's legs and tripping him. And every once in a while he does things that aren't very, normal for a cat, like bonking his owner with a baseball bat to try and get him out of bed to feed him. He's not a very likable character sometimes because he can be a little manipulative, but for the most part, he's actually a pretty good-natured fellow.
And the cartoons are hilarious.
It's especially cute when he tries to get the attentions of Chloe, who is a female cat that he is attracted to. He's tried a couple of...
The attraction is not mutual. Not really.
Not as mutual as he would like it to be.
She likes him as a friend.
Yeah, he's been friend-zoned. Simon's Cat is available on YouTube, and definitely go check him out. He and the rest of the animals and the hapless human Simon are all very, very funny, and that's why Simon's Cat is my number 3.
He also has another channel, Simon's Cat Logic, which is behind-the-scenes stuff and questions about why cats act the way they act. It's a lot of fun. You got to go over and check them out. My number 3 is somebody you've already mentioned, and I can't believe he was that low on your list. Are you going to do it for me now?
What? Oh.
Because I think you gotta be a lot higher for a character as stupendous as...
Dun, dun, dun!
Dramatic Chipmunk, number 3. I love this.
Who is actually a prairie dog.
A prairie dog. The clip, the first time I saw the clip, I roared, and so did you. And it's like, somebody put that stab behind it, and when we redid and revamped a few things on our show, which we do every year and a half or so, we kind of folded the bonehead stuff into this new category called the Dramatic Chipmunk, and we named it after him and used the stab and everything, and it's cool. It really is funny, and the team, I really can't believe that there's a sports team now in the Midwest using this clip to kind of psych out their people. It didn't work really well the first time they did it. They still managed to get their 40 yards or whatever it was, but it's funny that they call it a gopher with them, because they're the gophers, so naturally they would call it a gopher.
Right.
And woodchucks are actually probably more closely related to gophers than they are chipmunks.
Well,
because he's not really a chipmunk, but he is adorable, and it's one of the most viewed clips ever on the internet. It's only 5 seconds long.
Yeah.
You can sit there and play it over and over again. Some people have. They've added all kinds of special effects to it. They've done all these other kind of things. Stabs, techno stabs. It's like, oh my God.
We've seen humans do their own version of Dramatic Chipmunks online.
Dun, dun, dun.
Yeah.
Number 3, Dramatic Chipmunk.
My number 2, you're probably going to complain about this one as well. My number 2...
I'm not complaining about anything.
Oh, okay.
I said it's your list.
Right, you're right. The animal at my number 2 is an actual groundhog. He is cheerful and smart. He's obviously pretty smart. He created a time machine in one episode. He has to put up with a lot, including his sometimes obnoxious cousin, and also the goof that he apparently lives with. My number 2 is Fafa from Glove and Boots. Glove and Boots is a manic and incredibly insane puppet show on YouTube. It also has its own site, I think. I'm not sure.
The logical successor to Greg the Bunny.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
Fafa is usually the straight man or straight groundhog. In the crazy things that go on in the house that he shares with his buddy, a little red dude with a beard named Mario, who is
Mario Monster,
who is kind of obsessed with Katy Perry and is a little bit stranger and has usually more outlandish plans.
A little bit stranger? Mario is a weird dude.
Oh, yeah.
But then again, Fafa's cousin Vinny, isn't that his name? Tony.
No, Johnny.
Johnny
T.
Johnny, yeah. Is
Johnny T.
So stereotyped New York, Brooklyn.
Johnny T is a toad from New York.
I don't see how he could be a cousin to a groundhog, but we won't go into that.
Well, interspecies relationships.
Oh, for Pete's sake. Anyway.
And Johnny T's funny and stuff like that, but he's from New York, and we have this whole New York-Boston thing. So anyway.
She has this whole New York, Boston thing. I don't do that.
No, you have an Ohio, Michigan thing.
Okay, fair enough.
But
An Ohio, West Virginia thing.
Yeah.
And an Ohio, Kentucky thing.
see what
Anyway.
I mean? Fafa just cracks me up because he does come up with some crazy ideas, but at least some of them seem kind of grounded in reality. And I also think, more grounded in reality than Mario's ideas anyway.
Okay, fair enough.
And he likes to sing, and I like to sing, so we have that in common. And he's cute. He's a little groundhog, for crying out loud. Come on. My number 2, Fafa from Glove and Boots.
I didn't even think of him. That's actually a pretty inspired choice. So that's because I was going for living animal stars.
Well, I realize,
but that definitely is good for that. My number 2 is the other one that's no longer with us. In fact, he is a completely posthumous star because he died in 1989 and didn't actually become a big star until the internet hit, and not even then until probably the early 2000s. He was owned by a gentleman from Spokane, Washington, and one day he decided to dress his cat up in clothes, of course, set him down, and put his paws on a little Casio keyboard, having no idea he would be spawning the biggest internet meme of all time, practically. My number 2, Keyboard Cat. Keyboard Cat rocks. We also purloined Keyboard Cat for our What a Bonehead segment. Mm-hmm. We were always doing Play 'em Off, Keyboard Cat, followed by that do-do-do-do-do-do-do-do. Fatso was the actual name of the cat. He passed away in 1989. And I guess these videos were done in the 80s, and they didn't really become a sensation until they aired on the internet, I think for the first time in 2003, if I'm not mistaken. And since then, they've been, this really took off, I guess, when Ashton Kutcher saw them and put them on his Twitter feed, and really exploded the hits on this thing.
Right.
He was originally just known as Cool Cat, and he kind of languished on YouTube for a couple of years, and then when he started to take off, he actually started giving permission for other places to use it, and by doing a Creative Commons thing, you can use the music because other people would start doing the Play 'em Off Keyboard Cat thing. That's why we picked it up. And it's a really simple 1-minute video of a cat playing a Casio keyboard and not looking all that happy doing it.
No.
Sitting there.
Would you be really happy if somebody had you under the armpits and was flailing you around like a dingus?
But he's become an internet megastar.
I know.
Starring in pistachio commercials. He was part of the internet, the Exit Through the Pet Shop trailer parody they did for the gift shop. He was even in Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, for Pete's sake, for like 3 seconds.
Yeah.
That's the movie from last year, or 2 or 3 years ago. He's everywhere. And he's iconic. Keyboard Cat was the number 2 most iconic internet character of all time, according to Current TV, before they went off the air about 5 years ago. Obviously, they weren't very current if they didn't stay on the air. But he was selected the number 2 internet meme of all time. And it's like, you can't get away from him. Chances are good, if you're looking on YouTube at anything, and you put the word cat in, looking for cat videos, if it doesn't pop up on the immediate screen, it'll be on the also watch on the right-hand side. There'll be something with Keyboard Cat. You can't get away from it. Number 2, Keyboard Cat. Do 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 do.
Okay. Anyway, I'm not surprised that's there. My number 1 favorite internet animal.
It's time for number 1. This is it. Here it comes, number 1. You could have helped me.
Well, I tried last week and you got mad at me.
I didn't get mad at you.
Number 1
Dr.
on my...
Domeno's going to get mad at us if you don't stop
Yeah,
stealing
I know.
the stick, though.
So anyway, this really shouldn't come as a surprise to anybody who my number 1 most favorite internet animal is. I am a cat person. Certain people in this room have speculated that I was probably a cat in a former life. You eat one raw mouse and people never let you forget it. My number 1 is Maru.
Maru, number 1, yay!
Yeah. And your number 1
yes,
is Maru.
that's what I mean.
Yeah.
Yeah. Woo!
Surprise. Maru...
And Hannah. I have Hannah in parentheses, but it's like, Only after you brought her up, because I can't stand Hannah. Hannah's a interloper. What?
Like I said, only child over here. Maru is a Scottish...
I'm not an only child. I'm a Julia child. Because it gives me something to do. Anyway, go ahead. Walked right into that one.
Maru is a Scottish fold that lives with his human.
Mogu.
Because we all know that dogs have owners, cats have staff. They live in Japan. I'm not entirely certain where in Japan.
They live close enough to Fukushima that they had an evacuation box ready to leave their house if they were given the evacuation order.
Yes, back in 2011.
So they live north of Tokyo somewhere.
Mm-hmm. Maru, which is a Japanese word which means circle or round. And
boy, does that fit.
And fits. I don't know why she decided to start filming her cat, other than the fact that cats are cute and do cute things, and you want to share that with the rest of the world. Maru has been on camera since he was 3 years old. He was born in 2007. She started filming him in 2010 and posting them, I suppose, in 2010. And that just opened up Pandora's box. And
don't tell Maru. He'll want in that too.
Yeah.
Maru is box obsessed.
Maru has this thing about boxes.
Have you seen the new one? No. I was a little irritated. She puts videos up every Friday. The thing that irritated me, he had this little round plastic toy thing. Mm-hmm. Maru must get in this at all costs, or whatever it was. The thing is this big. Maru is this big. You know, and there's no way he could have gotten into this thing. Mm-hmm. And when he did manage to get his head through it and his paws in it, he got stuck. And she's there. She's filming him while he's fighting to get out of this thing. I'm like, you stupid bitch, drop the camera and help your cat get out of that thing. Honestly.
Yeah.
I was so pissed. I'm like, this is the only time I've ever been really irritated with her.
Yeah.
Because that could have killed him if he'd hit it wrong, and it could have strangled him.
I know.
His head was stuck. For Pete's sake. Well, I was not happy. Mugu Mogu, shame on you.
Well, she may not have realized how stuck he was.
Well, she realized it when he's laying there going, trying to get out with his back feet.
All right.
He was not happy.
Okay. See, cats, for those of you who don't have a cat or are owned by a cat, I should be more accurate in saying, cats have this thing. My cat, I mean, I've been owned by several cats in my life, but the one cat that I always felt was mine was my cat Morgan. And Morgan was a wonderful cat, my dear friend, and had this thing about bags. Paper bags. Specifically, paper grocery bags. He loved paper grocery bags. Except for
most cats do, for some reason.
Except for one instance with a Chinese food paper bag that had a staple in it still.
Oops.
Yeah, that wasn't fun. But cats have this thing about jumping into boxes and jumping into bags and jumping into purses if they're large enough.
And Maru is really into boxes.
Yeah,
now, I don't care what size it is. It can be a little tiny itty-bitty box, and he'll try to find some way to put part of him in it.
Maru's got this OCD thing about boxes.
He does.
And it's cute. It's weird as hell, but it's cute.
No, she's done some really weird stuff with him, though. The thing with the... what was that was up a few weeks ago with the thing on the head on him and Hannah?
Yeah, the New Year's celebration stuff.
I'm like, what in the world is this supposed to be? It's them sitting there for 2 minutes barely moving. What is the point of this?
Yeah. Well, what do you
Other than Maru looking extremely annoyed.
Yeah. So
but
anyway,
he's so cute, you can't help it.
Yeah, he's had a book and a DVD come out called I Am Maru. They've been released in Japan.
I think the I Am Maru book was released here, too.
I'm not sure.
I seem to remember seeing it at the Coop.
There was another book released in 2011. His website is one of the most downloaded viewed websites in Japan because he's just adorable and funny and goofy and just a cat.
He's a real-life Garfield without Garfield's disposition because he's kind of large.
Yeah.
He's not underweight. He's not over. What?
He's not overweight. He's under tall.
He's under tall. And
so my number one is Maru.
My number one is Maru too, for much the same reason, because I think Maru, and I turned her on to Maru.
You did.
He's just so adorable, and he's so funny, and all of his reactions are natural, and you see him having fun, and then Hannah comes into the picture. Hannah came into the picture 3 years ago, and it's like, why is this cat here? What does this cat do in here? I'm sorry, Major Hockstetter from Hogan's Heroes suddenly jumped into my mind. I like Hannah. Hannah's okay, but to me, she kind of takes away from Maru's spotlight, and I don't like that. Maybe I don't try to be like selfish with I don't try to have only child syndrome, but I like. Sometimes I think she just gets in the way just to be a pain in the butt, and there's several videos I've seen where she's actually acting rather angry and nasty toward both Mogu and Maru. I don't know what that is, because Maru is just so laid back, and he has the patience to put up with practically everything. Obviously, see aforementioned big plastic things stuck around his head. The one video that I adore, that I watch over and over again, and I don't know why it cracks me up so much, is one of the early videos when Hannah was still a kitten, and it's just her and Maru going up and down flights of stairs in the house. I don't know why that gets me, or why that cracks me up so badly, but it does. The other one that cracked me up recently was the swing. She put a hanging swing in her living room, and Maru's attempts to get on it and then get off of it were a scream. I mean, he mastered it very quickly. He figured out what he needed to do.
Yeah.
That cat is brilliant in that aspect. But it's just, it was fall down funny. And I'm laughing at it. I'm sure he's embarrassed by it. You know, he's got to be embarrassed by all the attention and thinking, every time we look at him and we can see he's looking at the camera, all we can think of is, you're filming me again? How are you going to humiliate me this week? You know?
Yeah.
But he's adorable, and she seems to really love him. She treats him so well, and Canna too. And that's always tops on my list. So my number one is Maru, with an asterisk for Hannah.
Okay. Going over our list of top 10 favorite internet animals. My number 10, sneezing baby panda. Number 9, dramatic groundhog or chipmunk or whatever.
Dun, dun, dun!
Yeah, prairie dog, whatever it is. Number 8, Boo the dog. Number 7, Bronx Zoo cobra. Number 6, Grumpy cat. Number 5, the kitten from Simon's Cat. Number 4, Hannah, Simon's cat. Number 3, Simon's cat from Simon's Cat. Number 2, Fafa from Glove and Boots. And number 1, Maru.
My top 10 are all real animals, except one. Number 10, Doug the Pug. Number 9, Grumpy Cat, a.k.a. Tartar Sauce. Number 8, Charlie the Basset Hound, Ree Drummond's late pet. Number 7, Henri Le Chat Noir. Number 6, Bronx Zoo Cobra. Number 5, Street Cat Bob. Number 4, Little Bub. Number 3, Dramatic Chipmunk. Number 2, Keyboard Cat. And number 1, the inimitable Maru. He's the Liberace of the cat set. One name. Maru. Liberace.
Okay, all right.
I wish that Hannah would go away.
You could have used Prince or Elvis or Macklemore.
Yeah, but that's not what I'm thinking.
All right, okay.
Because he's very flamboyant, Maru is.
Well, yeah.
With that coat, and he likes being on camera. You can tell that he's showing off occasionally.
Yeah, and unlike Liberace, it's his own fur.
Very true.
Okay, now since you picked the show,
Your turn.
My category this week, for the next show, we're going to go to the music side of things.
Okay.
My list is going to be the your top 10 favorite songs that either have in the title or prominently feature a place. A specific place.
A place.
Yes.
Like
specific
a city or a building or like
a specific city.
A city. It has to be a city.
Yes.
Okay.
And it can be any city in the world. It doesn't have to be in the title of the song.
Okay. Yeah, that should be fun.
But it has to be prominently featured in the song.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Does it have to be a specific city, or can it be a specific location in the city?
That's fine, too.
Okay.
That's fine, too.
That's good. That sounds like fun.
Okay.
That'll be hard. Alrighty. If you'd like to get in on this, we have a chance for you to win a prize, a DVD. All you got to do is send us some ideas for some lists, and if we use your idea on the show, we'll send you a DVD of our choice. We have a bunch of extra screeners and stuff, and we'll get your name and credit for it on the website and on the show. Mm-hmm. Don't you want to tell your friends, hey, listen to blah blah blah? They mentioned me on blah blah blah. You can also do that by getting, hanging out and joining our Patreon campaign. Mm-hmm. Patreon.com/PNRNetworks supports this show and all the PNR Network shows and websites. And we really could use some help. We're trying to get some additional equipment. We're trying to figure out some financing to try and get to some film festivals and all kinds of stuff. And it's very hard to do it on our limited budget. And we hope that you will come over and help us out. But by just donating $2 a month, if everybody did that, we could make so much and help us get we cover close to our second goal, 1 month ago. We haven't even come close to the first yet, and we really could use it. But as you go up the perks list, you get all kinds of cool stuff. And at one level, you get a regular, Subject Cinema. It will be on Subject Cinema. Subject Cinema is made possible by great Patreon friends, like they used to do on American Top 40. Mm-hmm. You get your name on there, you get your name on the website, all kinds of cool things, all for helping us out. I'll be honest, we're really in desperate need of some new recording equipment and a new mixer and actually a new computer. It's fine for regular stuff, but I'd love to get a full-size computer that's specially made for digital recording. And they do exist, and they sound great, and I'd love to get one of those if we could afford it. And we could if you'd help us out with just $2 a month. So please do that. And don't forget, this month, all our shows, we're trying the tripod. Tripod is a great little thing, and our host, Libsyn, is keeping track of the tripods. So please, when you listen to this show or any PNR Network show all during March, tweet it to your friends with the hashtag tripod, TRYPOD, and the second one, tripod, and the code for that show. For Front Row 5 and 10, it's tripod FR. And that will help us a lot. And let them know what we're listening to. Let us know who's tweeting about us. And we would really appreciate the extra support and the extra exposure. Yep. So please let them know. Don't forget to check out all of our other shows as well. Subject Cinema, 3 Minute Weekend, Tuesday Digidex, Platinum Roses Garden, and Catastrophe, Vortex, and Cavebabble. Yep. All available through PNR Network somewhere. You can see the whole band of lists of all the sites and shows, usually on the right sidebar in the little graphics for each show or site. So please go over and check them out. Mm-hmm. Place songs. Yep. Songs that have a specific city in them, or are about a specific or a location in a city. Yes. Okay. Sounds fun. Okay. And this is Kim Brown. I'm TC Kirkham. And we hope we can count on you to come back next week and help us count things up on Front Row 5 and 10. Bye. Bye-bye.
You've been listening to Front Row 5 and 10 with Kim Brown and T.C. Kirkham.
Podcasting's choice. From coast to coast, continent to continent, right here 24/7. PNR.